Hello, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, where we'll be talking about Star Trek Picard and some other bits, but mostly Star Trek Picard because we haven't actually talked to each other a week about it. And yes, you owe me 2 t-shirts still, Keith. Maybe 3 actually. Do you know what? It was the biggest. The biggest fucking disappointment. Biggest disappointment.
Do we want to talk about this first? Should we talk about Picard first?
Go on then.
Right. If season 2 and 1 of Picard hadn't happened, right, and the last time we saw the Borg was Voyager's last episode, would you have been as disappointed?
No. Actually, no. If this would have followed on 5 years after Voyager's last episode, yes, I would have been disappointed. 10 years, no. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think. You see, here's the thing, right? With Metalis, right? I think you're right about the subtle, hidden fucking meanings in there, right? Because this guy clearly loves Trek. This guy clearly is This guy is clearly fixing certain issues. He's doing the Spider-Man 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's fixing the Borg because at the end of the day, the Borg were cool. When the Borg were badass, they were cool, right? Now, here's the thing. I read an interview this week, right? Do you want to know why it was a Borg cube behind the door and not her? And this is the God honest truth. They couldn't afford her in makeup. They could only afford her voice. It's genuinely true. But now we know why. Because we know where they spent all their fucking money. Because they spent their entire fucking budget on that goddamn set. Oh my God, was it? I thought they'd filmed somewhere else. But no, they recreated the set. And more to the point, they got Mike Okoda, the guy that did all the Larkers designs as part of the team to redesign that bridge. I mean, this guy loves Star Trek. And right, come on, let's talk about because I was in tears.
Let's back up. So I think the best bad guy in all of Star Trek history is Dukat from bloody Deep Space Nine.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I will give you that.
But here's the twist. I actually think that talking about a couple of weeks back, Kai Wynn might be the second. Because I've never wanted to hit someone so fucking much. Because I went back and watched all the Deep Space Nines. And I'm like, oh God, I want a Lamper.
I mean, look, as much, and I wanted it to be the par race as well, right? But I listened to some interviews and it makes sense, right? Who was the big bad in Next Gen? Who were the big bads? Well, there weren't that many, right? There was the Borg, Lore, who recurred as a bad guy, and Q as a protagonist. Not really a bad guy. He was a protagonist, right? We've had 2 or 3 so far. Just saying. Right? We'll talk about that because I know that I know that there is a cut scene. I know it's awesome, but we'll talk about it in a minute. But look, when I saw it was a Borg, I was kind of like, yes, fucking called it. Oh, I wish Gareth was right. Then I watched it again, and I knew it was her bloody voice. It
wasn't her voice until he got into the shuttle.
It was.
It wasn't her voice until she got into the shuttle. It was Beverly's voice. They even said it.
Yeah. They mixed Beverly with her. So when you hear Beverly at the beginning, but at the end it's her. They mixed the voices together. Throughout the whole of the season, it was Beverly until you get to episode 9, and it was in the trailer, and Matthias was laughing because he hid it in the trailer. He said, It's Alex cringe right at the end. I was like, I fucking knew it was her voice, right? So, anyway, right. It's cool that she's in it. I love the fact they brought back the original Borg Queen. I actually think if you're gonna do the Borg, you fucking go all out. And oh boy, have they gone all out. And come on, right? You've got to admit, right? The transporter explanation actually was I kind of went, well, that's actually pretty cool. I'll give you that. That's actually quite a good explanation. And quite a clever explanation.
Okay, so can I just, before we go on, I realized something while watching it, yeah? If just a quick one, because it's not quite related. If you look at the scimitar, yeah? Not the scimitar, the shrike. Not the scimitar, sorry.
Yeah, they both
if you look at the shrike,
each other, but yeah.
Yeah, so you got the shrike, yeah, and then you look at the Dominion ships, the big battle cruisers, yeah, and then you cross it over with the design from the Cardassians, you get the shrike.
Yeah.
That kind of brown with like yellowy engine sort of nonsense. Just because something I noticed. Like, why didn't I pick up on that earlier?
I'm not sure. Look, we've still got one episode to go. Right, we still got one episode to go, and there's a load of things that we can talk at towards the end. But look, Jack, the Borg, Deanna Troi, you cow, running out on him like that, and not telling him, and then going, that's not very Deanna Troi like, is it? Anyway, and she just keeps talking in an English accent. I'm sorry, you've lost the ability to act. We're coming to that, Biffa. We are coming to that because, I have to talk about my reaction to that, even though I knew it was coming.
Right, hang on a second. Yeah. Right, my comment on that goes as follows. Yeah, isn't it nice to see everyone lit up correctly?
Well, yes, but the lighting's still a bit screwy. But we'll get to that.
Oh no, but it's still better than it was on the Titan.
Oh, fuck it, yeah.
Just carry on. I just was that my one bloody thing. That was
So in brief, right, and I love the fact, right, and everybody's going, oh, Shelby's not dead, right?
Shelby's dead.
Shelby, oh fuck yes, right? Because everybody hated Shelby. Everybody hated Shelby. So what's the Talos done? He brought her back and killed her.
That's why it wasn't Janeway.
Sorry, go on.
That's why it wasn't Janeway.
Yes,
because they wanted to.
Janeway's coming back.
Janeway's going to be in the last episode for one fucking scene.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's it. You're getting her for one scene.
I don't know how we're going to get her. I don't think we're going to get her on Voyager because there's no way they could have rebuilt the Voyager set unless you see her on a view screen like we do Shelby, where they could just redress the back of the screen.
I think we're getting view screen Janeway. I think we're getting view screen.
I don't know, Janeway. But I mean, I love the fact that we got Shelby. I love the fact it's the original actress, and I love the fact they killed her. It's like everyone's going, oh, she's just heavily wounded. She got shot through the fucking heart and the other side of her body. I mean, it's there. There's no way you fucking survive.
At worst, she's lost a boob.
Both boobs.
Oh man, that was. I was. So anyway, let's go back to the Deanna Troi reveal bit because that's right. I got annoyed because I watched it and then she was like, opens the door up and then she fucks off, and I'm like, I'm not like you. We're like, oh, that's really bad. I'm like, I've waited all fucking season for this. Show me what's behind that fucking door, please, for the love of God. And then they did. And I'm like, oh, thank God for that, because it got that. If it would have been 15 minutes in, it would have been a big thumbs down from me.
No. He played us a bit, right? And he did play us, but actually, it's been there right from the start. They are all right. It's been there. Locutus, all the Locutus hints, like right from the fucking beginning. She's playing Locutus. There's a picture of him. Very first shot, very first episode, Locutus. So it was all. Look, it was always going to be the Borg, but again, what he's done and the way he's revealed it, and then sending Jack off, and the way he's done it, and it kind of makes sense. You buy it. Is it fantastical? Yes, but you kind of buy it, and I kind of liked it. And then it was like, right, and so they did all this, and then they send him off, and he fucks off, and he goes over to the Borg cube, and then we see the Borg Queen, or hear the voice and see from the back. I'm like, why are they not showing her? And then I found out because they couldn't afford her, but they had to have her voice. I agree with that. Then I was like, hang on, what the fuck's going on with the transporters? They have not answered that. This is Terry Matalis. He's got an answer for it. And then, boom, right? All gets revealed. And I thought this was a clever explanation. To make transporters more efficient, they include each species has certain things in their DNA.
Hold on a second.
That is identical.
It confirmed
I liked the fact they replaced. Go on.
Right, hang on a second. It confirmed to me the scariest thing about transporters. And this is why Dr. McCoy never likes transporters. Because you get destroyed, you get disintegrated at a molecular level. And when you get put back together, you're not quite the same as when you left.
Well,
so one of you steps in and a copy of you steps out. Fuck it, I'm taking the shuttle.
I love the fact that that he took one of the worst things that Picard season 1 did, was turning Picard into an android, and actually made use of it in a good way. I mean, he's retconned so many things subtly. He sent subtle messages to all the Trekkies. This guy is an old school Trek, and he loves it. Anyway, so Jack basically gets assimilated, and it turns out that Jack is basically a great big fucking aerial, and sends a signal, and they use him to send out a transmission signal. And because they've replaced certain parts of the code in a transporter, the parts that every species, shares with each other, the parts of the DNA that are identical, they interjected a tiny little bit of code in there that fucking then gets activated, and boom, everybody under 25 assimilated like that. And that was oh shit. And of course we knew when they mentioned the whole fucking ships linking up thing.
We knew that was bad from square one. We knew that was person who didn't know that was bad.
That was a hint at the ball. The only thing I will say, right? The only thing I'll say where there is a possibility that Shelby isn't dead is the fact that she's fucking all for this linking up system. And Riker makes the comment, "Who would have believed that she was all for something that's so Borg-like?" Bearing in mind that she was like the Borg head of the Borg task force. And then, she's saying, so she could be a changeling. She could be a changeling.
Just a quick one. The ships have a formation at the end that look like something I've seen before.
Yeah, and I can't place it, but you're right.
It's driving up the bloody wall.
Yeah, you are right. They're forming some kind of text. I
don't know if it's from a game. Maybe it's from a game, and that's why I'm having trouble remembering it.
Well, the Enterprise F is from a game. The Enterprise F is from directly lifted from the game.
I don't like the Enterprise F. I think it looks fat. And I mean fat, short and dumpy.
I don't think it's the nicest design. I prefer the
E. It's so much better. Okay, yeah, right. Agreed. So
go on.
The Borg are hiding out in Jupiter. Yeah?
Yes.
That's what they said at the end. The Borg are hiding out in Jupiter. Sounds very familiar to a Babylon 5 episode where the shadows were hiding out near Jupiter.
I don't care. At the end of the day, you're right. But anyway, then we get to the bit where they manage to escape and they supposedly kill off Shaw. Now,
oh, no, hang on a second. Right. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a big fuck you. I didn't like that. You had the perfect chance to kill off Raffi. You had the perfect chance to kill off Raffi. Why did you not take the opportunity?
Here's the thing, right? Matalis has admitted that he did not think that Shaw would be so popular. And that he has kind of hinted at the fact that should Legacy happen and should it be set on the Titan, and now this could be a red herring because he also said that this season was not going to be about the Borg. Mr. Matalis. Bullshit. So this could be a red herring, but I think that it was genuinely they were shocked how popular he was. So yeah, that was a big sort of step in the heart. But then obviously the crew escape, Raffi and Seven stay behind. I think that's another hint that Janeway is going to turn up.
I got a feeling. I got a feeling that she's going to turn up, and she's going to take the Voyager. She's going to get Voyager, and the Voyager is going to have those bloody modifications still on it. Not going to happen, is it? That's what I'd like.
I think if they had the budget, damn well they would have done it, right? But I've got an outside prediction for something in a minute. But right, anyway, so they go, right, we need a ship. And I was at that point, I went, here we go. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. We know what's in Hangar Bay 12. He's going to do it, right?
I see.
And even I was blown away. And Chuck, go on.
I didn't know if it was going to be the Tricell one.
I liked your idea about that, but then I thought, no, if they're going to do next gen, they're going to bring back the original ship, right? They're just going to give us the ship. But how, right? Because, but I love the fact, and this is where Chuck hasn't reacted to this, so he clearly didn't watch the video. The doors open to Hangar Bay 12, and I knew what was behind it, so I wasn't surprised in seeing it. I loved the explanation that, and in fact, it's canon. And if you read the Star Trek Generations novel, because there's people bitching going, oh, the Enterprise was destroyed. No, it was not. And in the Generations novel, it actually does say that the Enterprise saucer section was salvaged, even though it was unsalvageable. That meant that was a comment saying that they could never return to
it. Was a write-off, basically. Yeah. That's what they should have used. Yeah, it's a write-off. It's too much money to recover it and fix it.
But in Generations, it is taken off the surface of the planet, exactly as Geordi says, because of the Prime Directive.
Prime Detective?
Right? Boom.
The Prime Detective?
But I love the fact, because again, this is a very obscure fact, right? There was a Galaxy-class starship called the USS Syracuse that was destroyed in a Deep Space Nine episode, but only the saucer section, right? Absolutely true. So I love the fact that they lifted that. So you've got so the new Enterprise, Chuck, is actually part of it. It's called the USS Syracuse. That's what I was trying to send to you. Anyway, but I wasn't ready, right? I wasn't ready. When that thing lit up and when they walked onto the bridge, because I wasn't ready for the bridge. I was not ready for the bridge. And when they walked onto that bridge and the way they fired it all up, I was fucking crying like a little girl. And then I was just like really, really emotional. And then when he goes to engage like that, and
hang on, hold on a second. Yeah. I had you down for popping a boner.
Oh, I had a proper geek boner going on. I mean, I was full geek boner, but I was crying like a little bitch. And when he went engaged, there was no old man in that voice at that point. That was Picard. And the way that shit comes out the dock and just turns, and they were tears of joy. It was just sheer fucking joy. And I've watched that scene about 30 times, and I still fucking love it. I still I'm getting emotional now. I'm getting fucking tearing up now, dude. That is the ship I grew up with, right? I remember the original series, but what got me into Star Trek was that fucking ship. And I'm a starship man. I'm a starship man.
Because my dad made me watch the films, so I was the original Enterprise.
Oh, look, I love the if I had to pick one, I'm a Constitution man through and through. But seeing that ship really made me emotional. And when they walk onto that bridge, and the bridge lighting is slightly different. It is different, right?
Oh, but it's still, you can still see what what's going on.
Very clear, yeah. But I love the way they fired it up, and I was trying to find where the fuck have they filmed this, because did they really recreate that entire bridge? Yep, they did. They rebuilt the entire bridge. So, and it has actually been sold on. So they have got recouped some of the money to some people in LA, but the set was sold on. But by God, when that thing fires up, and all the L cars come on the original, and they've messed with the L car colors a little bit as well. And I love the bit with the comment when Picard goes, seeing you all here, I know what I've missed. And then he went the carpets. That had me.
Yeah, the new ones don't have carpets. My wife was like, I said, the new ones don't have carpets. She went, oh, it's a bit more practical. Because, yeah, but you spend all day there. It's like being in the office with no carpet. So, yes.
I just the explanation, the explanation to it, and just seeing it for the first time in 30 years and in beautiful 4K and rendered correctly, and oh God, and that bridge, oh, and then them all sitting there and bantering and Data being Data, but not quite, but actually quite funny. And dude, I was in tears. I'm fucking sold.
there was the one thing I really liked about that is when Jack's buggered off and Picard's sitting in the ready room and Data turns around and goes, "Do you want me to say something to make you feel better?" He turns around and goes, "I don't think you can say anything to make me feel better." So he puts his hand on his shoulder and it's like, "Oh, that's really nice." That was I like those little proper emotional moments where the characters are supposed to react. The least human person reacts the most human, ironically. And it was properly enjoyable. I'm annoyed that it's the Borg. I'm annoyed because as we said earlier, it's been played to fucking death. They ruined the Borg seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to undo that, and I actually think some people have reacted badly to it. I initially was like, ugh. I've watched it again and again. I've gone, no, actually, I know what he's doing. He's giving power back. He is righting all the wrongs, right? And he's done it in such a way that has, again, restored my faith in something I didn't think could be possible. But this is now what I do not understand. But there's a couple of things. Paramount have thrown out a great big IMAX event in the US to screen 9 and then 10 next week. It's free. Mm-hmm. The concessions are free, right? Which means that they're not making money out of this. In fact, they're spending money. Why do you do that if you don't care about this particular flavor of show? Why do you do that? Potentially, there might be an announcement. It better be the right fucking one. I don't, even Paramount now. The thing is, right, 2 weeks ago when we were talking about this, there was a lot of love for it, but it hadn't hit the main zeitgeist. It hadn't been on the mainstream media. Last week they interviewed Patrick Stewart on This Morning, the most domestic fucking program you can get. Patrick Stewart was interviewed. Suddenly on Good Morning America, they're all popping up on there. They're everywhere. So they are everywhere. Hi, Bill.
All right, hang on a second. We'll get to the chat in a second. Yeah.
I think in the last 2 weeks there's been some momentum. I think people are now calling this the best season of Trek ever, and I'm not convinced that they're wrong. And I mean, that last episode, Jesus Christ. I mean, just fuck. I didn't get emotional when Luke Skywalker came back, but by God, I was emotional when they put that ship on there. I was just.
Do you want to hear something funny? I watched it, and the first time I went through it, I wasn't that emotional. I was more like, oh, thank fuck. Yeah. I was really thank fuck. Thank God it's not something else. And thank God it's nothing stupid. Thank God it's not the remake of whatever ship that was in Picard season 1 and 2. I was really grateful for it. And then the second time I watched it, I was a bit more emotional. That's weird. I found that really weird that the second time I was a bit more emotional. Can we go through the chat? Because we've got like 26 chats, which we've been waxing lyrical for the last 25 minutes.
Yes.
So I just need to... Crikey, there's lots of hellos. I'm going to skip through the hellos. I need to binge it myself. So let's start off with the first one. Imagine Gareth was right in the power race. I wish.
I'll be eating my hat.
Hang on a second. You have to remember, I've been avoiding spoilers like the plague. Yeah, I have been avoiding spoilers like the plague, and I've had to be making my own things to make sure I wouldn't bugger anything up. And sometimes you get it wrong. Most of the time I get it right, Keith.
Oh yeah, no, this is why no, you are totally right. But this is why I am milking this for all it's worth. Yeah, this is my I beat you at a fighting game moment.
Got one on me, doesn't it? Stop.
That's it. I quit. Yes.
Yes. That's it. I quit. I'm not making any more predictions ever again.
I'm not making any more podcasts.
Then we've got seeing the old Enterprise immediately 10 years old. I get that. I get that.
Totally.
7 years old for me.
Cool.
I was always. I remember the first Star Trek I watched was Wrath of Khan. It was Wrath of Khan. It was on VHS. We got it from. There was a big shop around us called the Co-op, and it had a video section, and we rented it from the video section using a Ferguson video recorder. And that was the first Star Trek I ever saw. I thought that the Enterprise and the Reliant were the fucking coolest spaceships at the time. Seriously, but I thought they were better than the Millennium Falcon. I was making them out of Lego. That's how much I enjoyed that. But I can understand if I had that because that was my first Enterprise. If it's your first Enterprise, you've got exactly the same feeling. If that makes any sense.
If I could pick one model, it wouldn't be the Enterprise D. In fact, it was my least favorite ship. I always thought the E was cooler. I always loved the original A the most because the A is just a beautiful ship.
It's the nacelles on the A, I think, look fantastic. They kind of look like speakers for some reason.
Yeah, I agree. And if I could pick one model to have, I'd have the A any time. I was not ready for how emotional I was going to get over this. I knew it was coming. It was the one thing I knew that they were going to do. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I didn't know if they were going to do what you said and bring back the one from the version where they could kind of get away with redressing another bridge. I just didn't know what they were going to do. The fact that they had the original bridge there, lovingly recreated, the fact that they had the original ship, and God, does she look so much better than she did ever before? When she lit up, and I was not ready for that.
I love the way the screen's turned on. I know you were like, no.
Yes. No. I loved
the
way they all fired on like that. I thought that was so cool. Never going to happen. Everybody hates Wesley.
Right. Everybody hates Wesley. Oh, then again, could you imagine that Wesley turns up and takes Jack away with him to keep him safe?
No, it's not going to happen. He's not in it. I know that much.
There's a remote chance. I am slightly worried. Okay, all right. But then again,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh no, hang on.
It's going to happen.
There's my missus. Hello.
Picard season 3 direct sequel to War of the Worlds.
No. Best of both worlds. War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it is. And hi, Steve. Yes, already pretty sure, but I think they're going to bring him back. I think they're going to bring him back if they do it.
I was not happy with that.
I'm not happy with that, but again, I don't think they were that sort of prepared for it. And Bill's like, I came to get my monkey nut punch. Hey, Bill. And wait until the final. Oh, right. Okay. So there is a cutscene. It's meant to be seriously amazing, awesome, better than seeing the Enterprise D. I don't think that's true. I think I'm going to make a prediction now.
Okay.
I think it's Q, because I think he's brought back like the only protagonist he couldn't bring back, the only bad from the next gen that he couldn't really put in because Picard season 1 totally ruined that was the Romulans, right? The other one is Q.
Mm-hmm.
But I have said this. I said this very early on when we saw them on the Daystrom station. All we need is a little cutscene that gives us just one more hint at Kirk. I'm going to throw in a Hail Mary here. I fucking called it on Hap next week because I don't think so. But I can just see Matalis somehow getting a Kirk in there. Look,
right. Hang on.
That Kirk reference in the Daystream was there for a reason. It was there for a reason. We know now Matalis does everything for a fucking reason, right? And he loves throwing in these.
Well, hang on a second. Right? No, because there are other things that he's done and they don't quite match up. And I know because I fell for most of them. All right. So if that's the case, then they're going to be using tribbles to defeat the fucking Borg. If you use the same
Apparently,
thing, or the
right,
Genesis probe to blow them up.
I've been watching the podcast guys because they spoil it the least, right? They don't give us any hints. They very cleverly never even hinted at Shaw's death, right? And I'll give them that. And they've never even dropped that. The one thing they've said is you watch it, and this is to all you guys, watch it to the past the credits. Watch it until white text appears on a black screen, right? I'm going to make a prediction. I don't think Picard's going to die, but he might. He might go off with the Borg. I don't know. I'm not sure, right? But I think we're going to get a Kirk thing, or he's going to go off with Q. He might go off with
I
Q.
think I'll go for Q.
But I think we are going to get Q. I think that's what they're going to do. But it would be fucking amazing if we got some kind of Kirk thing in there. And I can just see them getting Shatner in for like 5 seconds. Like, because that's what I said. We don't need something big. We just need to see his face and an eye wake up. You know, if it zooms in on Kirk's fucking thing in that thing, and then suddenly his eyes come up like that, that's enough for me. That is enough. That is fixing the last fucking problem. And the one thing I will say why there's just a small part of me that thinks it could be Kirk related is he's gone back and fixed a lot of shit. Right? He's doing a Spider-Man 3. And what's the thing that most Trek fans bitch about the most? Kirk's death. Should have happened off screen. Should never have happened that way. If they got Shatner in a box and he just opens his eyes, that's enough for me. That's all I'm going to say.
Shatner in a box.
Well, you know what I mean. Shatner in a box. But it's enough. You know what I mean.
Just going for a quick Shatner, boys and girls.
And I'm just... The way these guys were talking, I'm going, yeah, we all liked Q. But the way these guys are getting excited, there is an outside chance this is something else. And what's the one bloody thing that we saw, right? Well, that would be Kirk. That's the one thing that was very much touched upon. Why is the body of James T. Kirk in there? How did it get in there, bearing in mind? Why is it there? Right? So, just saying. We can understand Genesis 2 rocket and all that shit. We know why that's there. Why was Kirk there? And, you know, we've had these questions. We're meant to ask these questions. And for the most part, he answers them. And by the way, good call on your last week. You did call one thing. And I thought you were wrong on this. You remember when you showed us the wave thing from the end credits?
Did we do that after the podcast?
I thought that was...
Did we do that after the podcast?
No, I think...
me and you were chatting.
I don't know, right. I don't know. You might have done. I don't know if we did it on the podcast or not, but Gav showed this wave thing, and I thought it was the weapon that we'd seen early on in the season on Vadic's ship. It wasn't. It was the Borg. Well done, Gareth.
It was the protein thing. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. It was. So. Hang on. Hello, Dave.
Oh my God, Dave! I haven't seen Dave Davis. Ruined Star Trek. We're not ruined Star Trek.
I can just see if you're gonna know that you can't possibly ever make Trek again, what do? You resurrect Kirk. So, I mean, look, I think, the popularity of this now, it is growing by the hour, right? And I've watched like these groups on Facebook just exploding with people coming in the last 2 weeks. And surely, right, they made this series for no fucking money. Hell, half their budget was spent on the Enterprise D set, right? Everything else was shot on 3 fucking sets. Okay? 3. Well, 4, if you include the corridor stuff, right? They reused all the sets from season 2. So they redressed the ship that was in season 1 and 2 for Vadic's ship, and they used it for the
That's why there was a shuttlecraft that picked them up from not the Rios or whatever it was.
They redid the Stargazer bridge. They used that again for the bridge of the Enterprise F when you see Shelby on the screen. They have done this so cheaply, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's the first Star Trek season that we've had with no engineering section on any bridge, really, on any ship. So, but you haven't. I've missed it, but I haven't at the same time. I do not understand how Paramount cannot make something more and cannot get Matalis in. Look at what this guy did with no money. Here's the thing: get Matalis in. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and he will make it, and you will have all the fans watching it, because this guy has won the hearts and souls of all of the Trek fans. Are there Discovery fucking simps out there that hate it? Probably. I don't care, because they don't care that we dislike Discovery, and that's fine. Back to you. But every Trekkie I know has loved this. Every Trekkie I know loves this. I can't see how you cannot make something. Sure, make a Starfleet Academy. Get your young audience. I get it. I get it. You want to make a series that brings in a young audience because of your streaming show. I get it. Now go and make a fucking another Matalis series. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. You don't have to spend Kurtzman levels of cash on this to make the best Trek. Here's the thing. Kurtzman's surely has got to be seriously pissed off, because, he spent all this money and not got the views like this. So if he is, because the rumor is he is the one that's kind of holding this. If that is true, then one, fuck you even more, Alex Kurtzman. And two, Paramount, for fuck's sake, wake up. Wake up. Go on the internet. Go on social media. See how much love there is for this, because it's been just amazing. Final episode. What do you think is going to happen?
They're going to take Picard, Crusher, and What's-a-Mush into the Borg cube. There are going to be no Borg in the Borg cube. That's my first prediction. There will be no Borg in that Borg cube. It'll just be the Queen and Jack. All the Borg have died.
It did look a bit sort of
empty.
It did look a bit run down. Yeah.
It's literally the last surviving remnant of the Borg. That will be the first thing. That's all we got left Borg-wise, yeah? Then the other thing too is they'll be on the Borg cube, and then before you know it, that'll start heading to. They'll regain control of the fleet, yeah. And the moment they regain control of the fleet, the Borg cubes can turn up in Earth orbit and then start destroying things left, right, and center. So that's I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because it's my prediction is that the Borg cube's going to wind up in Earth orbit. They're going to fight it, a proper out-and-out fight. There'll be the Enterprise will be bloody leading the fight, if you know what I mean. And it'll be like the last moment, and then you'll get Janeway, and your connection's gone. You've got Janeway over comms. She turn around and she's, I don't know, on your left, like in Captain America, and then all of a sudden she'll be there. She'll be there with Voyager. I reckon she'll be there with Voyager.
Look, I want it to be Voyager. It
might not be the same Voyager from TV show, though.
Yeah, but then it might be one of the linked ships. I want it to be Voyager. I want Seven and her on the bridge of Voyager. Maybe the real Tuvok, rescued. I want it to be that. I so fucking badly want it to be Voyager, right? I mean, there was a Defiant class ship in that Armada. There was a Defiant class ship in there. They blew up the Excelsior. That ship didn't last very long.
It's one of my favorite ships, the Excelsior, because
I know
it was like, they
did that off screen. I badly want it to be Voyager. I do. I mean, that just would be. But look, Janeway's got to be in this, right? You are doing the Borg, right? If Janeway's not in this, it's criminal. Because other than Picard, the only other Starfleet captain with as much experience with the Borg is fucking Janeway, right? So if she's not there kicking that Queen's ass all around the fucking room, then there's something wrong with it. I know this is Next Gen. I know this is Star Trek Picard. but you have been dropping fucking Janeway hints throughout this entire fucking season, right?
Yeah, because this is the thing is, I think she's going to arrive with the cavalry, because the way they made it sound like she was going to arrive with the cavalry all the way through. Yeah, that's okay. That's my one prediction. Janeway's going to arrive with the cavalry.
Yeah, I think we're going to somehow see Q, even though he's supposed to be dead. But I have an outside prediction that it might be Kirk related. If I'm right, I will. Gareth, you have to download it on Thursday. I hadn't thought you had watched it until today because you hadn't said anything, so I've been keeping quiet. I've been posting lots of shit on Facebook.
I've just been, I've been doing my best to avoid fucking spoilers everywhere. It's so difficult, and I didn't. And part of me is like, kind of, I want to talk to you this fresh, because one, I know that you're going to come back with some fucking snarky comeback, and we might as well record it, which we did. Which is fine. I get that. Just remember.
Yeah, no, dude.
You know what? I'm gonna. Right, I'll drop a link in the. I'll drop a link in the bloody chat later for. I will rig it up at a marketplace where we can get T-shirts with fucking.
Every time that I've been wrong.
Every time that I've been right, that's what. No, that's what I've got. I'll have a load of like kind of tally marks down one side for like 50 times, and then one over here. And it's like every time I was wrong, every time Keith was wrong. I'm not scared. I will lean into it. As I said, I did everything. I was hoping. I part of me was like, I didn't want it to be the Borg. Is the first thing, because it's just been overplayed. I think that's my bias.
Yes, but I think, and I agree with you. But it was when I heard an explanation of it, and I went back and watched it again. And I think, yeah, no, look, they've made the Borg badass again. They've made them fucking scary again. That's what the Borg were, right? First contact Borg, scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Borg throughout Voyager, pretty fucking scary, right? They were always no.
Voyager demystified them. They were fine in Scorpions, yeah. They were fine in Scorpions, but further down the line, they became less scary because you started explaining.
They were overused in Voyager. But the final was pretty good with them. They made them menacing again. And then we didn't have anything. And then they just completely buggered them in season 1 and 2 of Picard. And it was like, they said, oh, we're not doing the Borg again. And I could understand why. But to spring it the way they did, and to make it the changelings right up until the last minute, that was cool. Look, this has always been about Next Gen and not Deep Space Nine. So it as much as I wanted it to be the PAL race, they were the bad of Deep Space Nine, not Next Gen. And if you're going to do like a final Next Gen thing, why would you not do the Next Gen's biggest bad, which is the Borg? I get it. I get the choices. Would I want to have seen more Deep Space Nine stuff? Hell yeah. But all this makes me think is like, you've got to give him legacy, because legacy means that we'll get more stuff from Deep Space Nine. We'll get more stuff. As much as I would love to see Cisco, look, that one I did get wrong. But the actor is a bit nuts. So Avery Brooks has gone a bit doo-doo. So
Avery Brooks was nuts beforehand. I'd just like to point that out.
Not as badly as he is now, but yes, he's become very.
No, he was being more polite in those days. I think he was just hiding it.
I'm just make a clock and let Keith be twice as much. I like that one. But look, I think Janeway's got to turn up. If she turns up on Voyager, that'll be it. Sealed the deal for me. But I think this next week's episode is just going to be amazing. And I'm going to have to do everything to stay fucking quiet. I've already decided I'm booking off Thursday afternoon. Fuck it. Because I think I'm going to be a wreck. But they've got to do it. If there is no fucking announcement next week, next Sunday, if we're not talking about an announcement of some description that Terry Mathias is coming back to do something with Star Trek at Paramount, it is fucking criminal. And if it is, then Paramount, you should crash and burn.
Right. It goes like this, yeah? If there isn't anything, then we got a decent series.
No, I
we
agree.
Got just let's not do the Vegas thing, yeah. We got our winnings. We can still take our winnings and go away, yeah. We don't sit there. Don't need to sit there and look
Agreed.
at the million that we could have won when we've got our 100 grand that we
I
have
agree.
won.
I agree with you. This has been a glorious, glorious thing that I never thought we'd get, and it has been utterly amazing. And I will give you that. I will give you that. But next week we'll be back one way or another. Before we go on to talk what we do, I think Biffa's made this comment. Your thoughts on Doomcock and Pasha Cameron's claims KK Kathleen Kennedy announced that 3 Star Wars movies despite Disney Bob Iger. She has no intention of going away gracefully. Biffa, my friend, Doomcock's full of shit. Sorry, but he is. I'm not going to be nice about him anymore. His doubling down of Picard has just pissed me to the point where I don't care. He has been predicting Kathleen Kennedy getting sacked for the last 5 years, right?
Yes.
It never happens, right? his sources are more than once. Many YouTubers have basically seen where he's getting his information from, and it's 4chan. This guy hides behind a mask, right? And that's how he gets away with it, because he's got anonymity. You know, no one knows who he is, right? And he gets away with it. It's why he broke up with Gary and that, because they all had to go at him for his sources, right? He's full of shit. I'm sorry, he is, and he has, you know, he accuses everybody else of having an agenda. Well, he's got an agenda as well. He says he's a Trekkie. Bullshit, because Picard season 3 was made for Trekkies, and his refusal to deal with it just shows. And this is bullshit. I don't trust a word. In fact, I don't watch them. Right. I don't trust a word that comes out of them.
All right. Sorry,
and Bob Iger is all for this. Go on.
Let's just point out my neighbour's just broken out a chainsaw. So if you hear any kind of rumblings, I don't know why they've broken out a chainsaw, but I can't hear any screaming, which is a good thing.
But
the Kathleen Kennedy thing, I don't think any of those films are going to make it. I really don't. I think The Mandalorian's dead. I think they're going to kill Disney Plus because of it. I don't think she's going anywhere. Because I would have fucking fired her after The Last Jedi.
And
Seriously.
Bob Iger, I'm pretty damn sure the whole reason that this Rey film was announced, because come on, it doesn't take a genius to work. There is not a single Star Wars fan that I have met, and I've met a lot of Star Wars fans, right, that likes those movies, that likes Rey. There are some people that dress up as certain characters, but so many people I speak to did not like that trilogy. So why would you make a Rey movie when you're losing money? It makes no sense, except you're Bob Iger and you're doubling down on this bullshit. And he did that in the bloody shareholder meeting. So of course he fucking did it. I find all this fucking rumor mill about him and Kathleen Kennedy falling out. It's bullshit. It's Doomcock wanting it to be true and winning it. And he's been winning this for 5 years. And I'm sorry, he's full of shit. I'm sorry, he's full of shit. If you believe this stuff, fucking show your face. Right?
Okay, all right, hang on a second. I'll make a prediction. Jon Favreau will be out by the end of the year.
Yes. Now those rumors, I believe, because they make sense, and mainstream channels have been covering it. That I believe, because The Mandalorian season 3 has been seriously shit and really subpar, and it makes sense. You know, I don't think Jon Favreau wanted to do the Book of Boba Fett. I think he fucking interjected all that bloody shit in there because he was forced to by the studio. And he's just phoned it in this season. Because the first, it's just bad. It's not good. I mean, and the last episode wasn't really that good. Oh, Moff Gideon's back. We're meant to be like really impressed. And meh. I'm so meh about it. You know, I'm looking forward to what's its face season 2, but only because that was the only good show. But I'm done with Star Wars as much, although I'm looking forward to Jedi Survivor. That's gonna be cool.
The game, though, that's the game.
Yeah, well, Coruscant's a playable level.
It's funny. I had one of my friends went to the Star Wars celebration in London, and she was like taking pictures. And bits, and I'm just like, oh, sorry. Oops. It was. I really don't know what they're doing. I've seen clips of Boba Fett, which just really put me off. I've heard people talk about it because I'm not worried about spoilers for not for Boba Fett, for Mandalorian. It should be Boba Fett. I don't know why it's not Boba Fett. Sorry, Bob. I like Bob. He's an intergalactic plumber. Fix pipes on fucking Star Destroyers and ships and stuff. That would be a lot more interesting than what we've got at the moment. I have no idea what they're doing. The only thing I think is more messy than Star Wars is Marvel. I think Marvel's fucked.
Oh,
I think the moment
the Marvel's
right, there's rumors that they're bringing back Captain America and Iron Man in the next Avengers film, even if it's just for a cameo because they sound desperate. Disney have screwed the pooch because they just don't fucking get it. That's my thing.
My can't
boss
believe how
has
bad the man. Go on.
My boss has this thing where he says this is ironically he's American, yeah. And he has this thing. He goes, you know when you've got a good employee because you say the following: they just get it. Yeah, they just get it. Okay, all right. Where Kathleen Kennedy and Feige don't fucking get it. They don't understand, yeah? The original strategy behind Marvel and Star Wars was to bring boys into their theme parks so they could make money off the back of it. To get boys into Disney so they could make the money off the back of it. And what did they do? They feminized it and removed any reason for boys to go into their theme parks or to engage with Disney stuff. So they will stick with the PlayStation and the Xboxes and the video games and all the more interesting stuff. But saying that, we're now going to get video game movies because given the strength of the Mario film, we're going to get video game conversions now, and hopefully we'll get honest ones. And the worst thing is, I think Nintendo's going to do the best job out of all of them, and you're going to get Nintendo like Disney stuff. They're literally Japanese people have showed up to the shores of America and says, "This is how you do family entertainment."
And good. I'm sorry. I want Disney to crash and burn. I cannot believe how bad this season of Mandalorian is and how nonplussed I am about it. It's terrible. I mean, I just don't. And even mainstream people, you know, the normies are slating it. The press are beginning to slate it. It's a fucking Star Wars project, right? And this Rey movie. What are you fucking thinking? I mean, you know.
All right.
Just.
I don't mind Daisy Ridley. I don't like Rey. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the actress. The actress.
The thing is, this is it's not like a Captain Marvel thing with Rey. Sorry.
No.
What was that?
No, you're right.
It's weird because
most of the cast were good.
Yeah, you like the cast. The cast come across as quite reasonable people, but for some reason they just completely fucked the whole thing up. So yeah, it's. But
I look. I think Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy are in cahoots, and I you know, as it's sorry to sort of rain on this. If you watch Jim Cock, that's fair enough. I think he's full of shit. I think he's been predicting Kathleen Kennedy's been leaving for years. So boom. I think Disney are fucked. Gareth's right. Marvel is bleh, and you know, like Gareth is with Star Wars, I'm like that with Marvel, and I think I'm pretty much there with Star Wars now, which is a huge shame. Although I am looking forward to Jedi Survivor, I am looking forward to Andor season 2 because Andor was a gem of a series. It was brilliantly written, and it deserves credit. I haven't seen the trailers. The thing, look, I will watch Ahsoka partly to see that guy's Thorn because I've wanted to see him as a live action Thorn, but I don't think Ahsoka's going to be that good. Watching that fucking thing on Star Wars Celebration where it was all women, and there was and they're all advertising it, and they're all being, you know, you talk about toxic masculinity. Fucking hell, there was a full show of toxic femininity that there, and it just, I have no interest, and I kind of think that Ahsoka was cast well, as was what's her face is Sabine Wren, and in fact, she looked better in real life. She has more of that face that Sabine had. I still think she should have short hair, but the other actor as Hera is massively miscast. I have no real Ahsoka's coming. I just want to see it for probably a few members.
She's got Brie Larson. She's got Brie Larson face, Keith. So Ahsoka goes, they've killed all the Jedi. So Ahsoka, we've fucked up your ice
and you
cream
might
order.
be right. You
Well,
might be
fuck,
right, but if it
put
is this, there is a small part of me, but I will be done after this. I think, but that hopes it is like a worthy sequel to Rebels, because I enjoyed Rebels, and you put me onto Rebels, and I liked Rebels. I liked Rebels up until the end. So, but I don't think it is. I think it's going to be chock full of the same fucking bullshit that everything else is that Disney's doubling down on, and it's going to kill them. It is going to kill them. And I can't be sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. You're doing this to yourselves. You've killed the Marvel franchise. You can keep telling yourself it's fatigue. It's not. You're making
It's
good
shit.
movies.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, which Bob Iger is responsible for, killed you. You fucking morons. I mean, it's so obvious. But Hollywood is a bubble, which apparently is impenetrable, and it doesn't have any internet connections.
I know.
So anyway,
last topic, and it's lucky because Bladefoot. Sorry, I pressed it at the same time as you.
Yeah.
So,
Bilfer said your thoughts on the Harry Potter TV series. Now, I knew about this last week, and I didn't bring it up because we were too busy talking about Picard. But I'd heard rumors about this. What's your thoughts?
I'm split. Part of me, like, kind of, I would like to see a premium TV series done to the book. But the other part of me takes that is I don't want to see a premium TV series done to the book with today's politics, because you're just going to get Snake's going to be transgender, Dumbledore's going to be openly gay and wearing pink uniform, and Ron's going to be black because he's ginger, and they replace all the ginger people in Hollywood with black people.
No, they'll replace Hermione with a black girl, and I'm predicting that.
No, they won't. They won't. That's how they get you. It's like, here's Hermione, and then look, she's not black. She's like the regular Hermione that we're used to, and here's Ron.
They have said they're going to make a faithful TV series to the books. Although I really don't understand how you can do a season out of the first book. It's not that long, whereas like the last few are really long. So we're going to have like a 4-episode first season one.
6 episodes. 6 episodes. See how you get on.
You could. Now, there's a thing already online about people getting pissed off because like they think, especially with Alan Rickman's portrayal of Sirius Snape, and obviously now being dead, that you can't read thing. Most of me is happy about this, but because look, we've still got to do our deep dive, and we do need to do our deep dive on the movies. I always maintain that Michael Gambon was massively miscast, or at least his portrayal of Dumbledore was just not right.
Not
right according to the books.
No. Okay, so the first book.
I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, hang on a second. The first book, Dumbledore, is radically different to he is in all the other books. Yeah, he comes across as Mr. Bloody Magica. In that first book, he's closer, to the seventh Bloody Doctor.
He is never aggressive in any of the books.
No. Hang on. No. You don't understand. So Michael Gambon's rule for taking the part from is he not Keith Harris? Keith Harris is the guy with the bloody penguin. Richard Harris.
Orville.
Yeah. Richard Harris was that he was going to play him as a completely new character. That's what he said. The only way I'll take this part is if I get to play him as a completely new character. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of prefer him because when they've got that joke, they've got that running gag about, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Yeah. And he grabs hold of him. Yeah. You know that Dumbledore will fight fucking tooth and nail to beat Voldemort. Yeah. He will do everything. Yeah. It also shows that there's a bit of fucking emotionality that he cares too, because it's like, kind of, dude, we have done so much to protect you, and you divvy prick, you put your name in the Goblet of Fire.
I always felt, but the book is better with that, and he was never that aggressive. And I actually always found that the fact that he wasn't aggressive actually made him more menacing. Look, well, that's my opinion.
Let's get on the thing. No passion.
Okay, but look, going back to the Sirius Snape thing, I was like, who the fuck else could play him? And a lot of people go, and then one person said something, and I just went, shit, yes. In
Adam
fact,
Driver.
shit, yes. Exactly. Fucking exactly. That guy is perfect for that role. I don't think they get him, but he's perfect.
Do you know, I think it'd be good for a Sirius Black, but more from a PR thing than an actual casting perspective. It'd be good as a Sirius Black. Daniel Radcliffe.
Actually, yeah, that could be quite funny.
Just from a PR perspective.
The more I think about it, I want to see a new TV series. The trouble is, right, a lot of the casting was perfect in those movies. Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. I just can't see anyone else playing Hagrid. So I would not want to be the casting director for this TV series, because the casting this is going to be Maggie Smith was McGonagall. I mean, you know, I read that book and McGonagall always. I just pictured Maggie Smith in my head.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
McGonagall
so perfectly cast. Judy
Peeves,
Walters
it screws the other way. Peeves, it screws the other way.
Yeah,
that's a reference. That's a nerdy reference.
We will get Peeves in this, but Judy Walters as Mrs. Weasley, perfectly fucking cast.
Most the most underappreciated member of the Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, seriously,
because at the end she's the one that fucking kills Bellatrix.
Oh no! It's the fact that she was looking after him, making sure everything was fucking ticking over. They were doing all the stuff, but she was the one doing all the shit jobs that actually needed doing. Sorry, I get annoyed.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Underappreciated.
I just don't know who else you could cast, and you're gonna have to do it in Britain. You're gonna have to film it in England. It better be filmed in England. It better be filmed with British actors, because it is a British show. So I don't know.
I think that one might be a given. I think that one's a given.
Your wife disagrees. I'm sorry, I did not like Gambon as Dumbledore. Just didn't work for me. It's not how I pictured it in the books. Sorry, I didn't like him as Dumbledore. I never have. I love the films. I love the last. I don't like the last film either. I don't like how it ends. The book ending is better. Just don't. Never have.
I haven't got. So I'll be honest with you, Keith. I haven't got there in the books yet. So
I think the book ending is better. I like how Harry appears in the school in the book much better. That should be on film. That they missed a massive fucking thing there. And it was really cool, and it should have been in film, and it would have worked on film. The fact that they didn't do it pissed me off. I didn't. No, sorry, but anyway, Daniel Radcliffe stabbed Jake. Yeah, they all did to protect their careers. They all did. You're absolutely right. So no, I don't think. Daniel
Radcliffe but hang on. Hang on a second. The actress who plays Luna Lovegood to play the divinations teacher.
Yes. Oh, that could work. Sorry, allergies. I'm dying here. That could work. That could be your way back in.
So hang on, because she defended J.K. Rowling, because we were just talking about people backstabbing her. So
she did.
I do think, I know Ralph Fiennes is like, I'll play Voldemort, okay, which I'll accept. The question is, are they going to do Voldemort like because the thing is, Voldemort in the book is more monstrous. Because if you see the mock-up of him, because you've got it at the studio tour in Watford, you get to see the mock-up of what they originally wanted Voldemort to look like. That's the stuff of fucking nightmares. That really is. So
the thing that says, if they're going to do it faithfully to the books, right? This is the other thing. The books, you kind of grow up with the books. Like the first book's quite kiddish. The second book is kiddish. The third book starts delving into darkness, as does the fourth book. The fifth book is quite dark. The sixth book is proper dark. That fucking last book is borderline adult. There is racism. There is murder. There is gruesome murder. There is swearing. How do you do that with a TV series? Are you going to have each series rated differently? You know, if I just don't. look, part of me is excited about it because I want them to see it. I want them to do a more faithful adaptation of the book. I want to see more of it on film. I love the Harry Potter series, and I'm looking forward to it in one respect, but I wouldn't want to be the casting director because there were parts in those films that were those films were very, very well cast, especially in the adult roles. And yeah, I just don't know if I could see those parts being played by anybody else. There's certain parts I could like. Yeah, I could see Adam Driver as a Severus Snape. I can see that. I can really see that. But I can't see anybody else as McGonagall who will be as good or as iconic as Maggie Smith. I can't see it. I don't know who else you could cast who one is willing to do 7 fucking seasons of TV over 7 years. Because don't forget this, right? If you're going to do this, you've got to cast them and contract them all for 7 years.
10, Keith. It's not 7, it's 10 years.
Is it? Are they doing it over 10 years?
10 years, mate.
Wow.
That's what I heard. 7 years, but 10 because they want pre and post and promotional stuff and all of that.
I
like it. Your face is gone. Oh, that's a bloody big ask, isn't it?
And that's my problem. That's my problem with this, and because I can't see anybody else playing McGonagall. Maggie Smith was perfect. I do mean fucking perfect.
I'm trying to think of
there
people
isn't
who play McGonagall now.
I don't know. I mean, arguably, who was a face who played the deviation teacher might be good at it. She was a bloody good Trunchbull. Emma Thompson could maybe do
Emma
it.
Thompson's quite. Don't sound rude,
but there's no way you're getting Emma Thompson for 10 years.
Yeah. Let's. Oh my god. I can't think of anyone. That is really bad. I cannot think of anyone at the moment who could do it. I'm going through Doctor Who alumni actually to try and figure out if there's anyone that could do it.
I mean,
sorry, hang on a second. Hold on. My wife just yelled something.
A wife is yelling, so she's clearly listening. Why don't you comment? Is everything okay?
Right, right, because she can't bother to type, and she's yelling up to me. There need to be total unknowns.
I agree with that because that was what I was thinking. You know, I was doing my thinking where Gareth was probably doing his thinking before the start of the show, and I was thinking you're going to cast it as unknowns.
Yeah,
cast it as unknowns. No, you're right. There, we agree totally. Yeah, I agree. But I can see Adam Driver as Snape. I can see Driver as Snape, but he is Snape. He even has the hook nose. He blatantly, although he's an American, he can do an English accent. I can see him as Snape. It's the only one. But Hagrid, Robbie Coltrane was Hagrid, and that's again. You know, I can't picture anyone else in that role.
Hang on a second. I heard a great one. Shaq, as in Shaquille O'Neal. You wouldn't have to use any makeup or anything because he's already fucking huge. But imagine him with a really shit English accent.
True. I think Tanner's right. I think unknowns. And you find people that actually do embody the roles. My concern, though, is it's going to be like Legacy. You're right. Modern day politics, that they're going to just Hogwarts Legacy it. And I mean, it was ridiculous in Legacy.
Especially considering it was set in the fucking 19th century.
Exactly.
Oh, got gay people in the 19th century. Dude. No. What was the point of all that fucking pride marches and stuff if it was fine in the fucking 19th century?
I think originally it was set now, and they decided for whatever reason to set it before. I think that was a change. I don't think that was originally for it. But look, I mean, look, there is a part of me that's excited about it. One of the see, I like the design of Hogwarts as well. So again, but Quidditch could be fun. More Quidditch done. Either way, it's going to be fucking expensive. But you know, they've got the rights. So all the money that was spent on the rights for Lord of the Rings, imagine what you could do with that money when you already have the rights. So, as you said, a premium TV series.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if you're going to get somebody, if you're guaranteed to fuck it, look, you're printing money by doing this. I get it. You know, show me anyone that's not going to think. But Olivia,
she'll be too old by the end of it.
She won't. She's not that old. McGonagall was old. She was fucking ancient by the end of it. I mean, McGonagall was like over 100. You know, I mean, she was like really old. Good. Actually, maybe, but it's the trouble is Maggie Smith. Like I love Olivia Colman. I do. But Maggie Smith's a fucking legend.
The other one is Gilderoy Lockhart. That was perfect.
Yeah,
he matched perfectly the book. He read that book and he embodied that character.
He did, but I can see somebody playing that role. It's a smarmy role, and it isn't like it's one book role. So I can picture. Although yeah, Branagh was brilliant in that role. And as was what's her face as
she's shouting up to me again.
Who was?
No, she's coming upstairs.
The character name in the fifth book, the headmistress, the evil fucking cat bitch who was perfectly perfectly
played pink lady. The pink lady.
Yes.
Oh, what was her name?
I don't see how you can
Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, Umbridge.
Imelda Staunton.
Imelda Stanton fucking nailed that role. I mean, absolutely nailed it. So I don't know. Umbridge. Yeah, thank you. Lockhart was in Order of the Phoenix too. Yes, he was in the book.
Oh yeah, because he was in the St. Mungo's.
Yeah. St. Mungo's. Yep. Well, nice one, Tanner. Well done. Yep, you're right. Yep. I hang my head in shame. She's absolutely right. Umbridge. Yeah. See, Imelda Stanton nailed that. She nailed that role. She was an evil bitch. It was done brilliantly. I wanted to kill her, and that was so well done. And then you watch her in something else, and she's brilliant. When she played the Queen in The Crown, and just totally different role, and you love her. But as Umbridge, she was. I can't see anybody else playing Umbridge, and this is the thing. And you're going to have to cast all of these people. It's a huge production. I wonder where they're going to film it. Probably next door to my work.
Next door to your work, I reckon that they'll repurpose the bloody sets and stuff that they've got at the bloody studio tour.
I don't know. I think if you're going to do this, Tilda, no, God, no.
No.
I don't like Tilda Swinton, but actually. No, I'll take that back, Biffa. Maybe because I'm just remembering her in what was it I saw her in that Netflix film with the weird pig things, and she was very different in that. And I've seen her in a few things where she's, and I've got to watch that Genie film that she's in, because again I'm told that she's good in that. There's a Genie film, and what's his face as the genie, isn't it?
Shaq.
It was a Genie film.
Isn't Shaquille O'Neal?
No, it's Luther, isn't it, as the genie?
Oh, yeah. I keep seeing that. It doesn't look.
3,000 Years of Longing. Thank you, Biffa. I know you could be right. I'll take that back, Biffa. I will hang my head in shame again. You could be right on that, but again, you're not going to nail her for 10 years. These are all two bigger actresses. Gareth's much better and fairer half is right. unknowns. It's the way to go. I will watch it, Biff. I will watch it. There was something else I wanted to talk. Go on.
I asked you to watch a TV series on Apple TV called Blackbird.
This is with the kid that was in Texas. Yeah, it's dark, isn't it? But I have got to watch it because it's meant to be really good.
Watched the first episode. It was like the pilot, and it was like it's going to be our weekly watch. I think it's going to be.
I will give you that Severance got really good. Now I can't wait for the fucking second season of Severance. Fuck me, that final episode. Oh my god! When he realizes it's his wife, and then it cuts out. Oh my god. Yeah. And that was. I knew it was coming because you fucking spoiled it. But shit, that reveal. Shit.
There were plenty of other ones in there.
Yeah, no, Severance was really good. And I'm loving Ted Lasso. Loving it, although this week's episode, not so much.
That was quite sad, this one. But it's the low point so they can come back up, isn't it?
No, it's making What's-Her-Face a lesbian. That's just really
fucking sorry, I thought you were talking about What's-Her-Face with the loss of Zava, Ted.
Oh, yeah, no, I was sad about that. Yeah. Well, Ted's obviously going back, and that's how it's going to end. I mean, that they're building to that, but it just annoyed me this week, because I liked those two as a couple, and to make her a lesbian, and I knew the minute that actress turned up that it was going to be a lesbian, because funny enough, she plays a lesbian.
Tanith called that too. She went, I was at least put on my focus. I was more whether Nate was going to get in there with the bloody maitre d' at that restaurant that he'd been going to.
I found her so annoying. Yeah, I found her so annoying. Like, to the point of, how has she got a job? And then, but I find Nate excruciating to watch. I do.
At the
even
moment,
more so now. Yeah. I find him excruciating. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it though. Don't get me wrong, I am enjoying it. But I knew the minute she turned up, because she plays a lesbian in For All Mankind. I thought, here we go.
It may be the thing that makes her go, I actually miss Roy. Because Roy had the moment. Roy had that moment where he was like, shit, maybe I should go and speak to Keeley. And then the lesbian thing fucking happened. So I'm hoping that I like those two together, and I hope Jamie Tart becomes the proper kind of captain, because he's building up to it. He's putting the effort into it, and this is the way the Zava character went, because he's supposed to be fucking Lionel Messi, isn't he? He just was like, kind of, I'm retiring. Didn't tell anyone. But I think I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping it sticks the landing. That's my worry. Please stick the landing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's my point. I mean, next week, not that I'm that excited about The Mandalorian. See, I really am not, but oh dude, after next week, what are we gonna do? I hope we're talking. I hope, please fucking Paramount, please. I hope we're talking about the next Terry Matalas series. I really do. Please. But it's gonna be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I know it sticks the landing. And God, is it... I can't wait. Thursday can't come round soon enough, or Friday for you. But anyway,
do you know the really annoying thing was? Until we had that time change over, I could stay up till about midnight and then watch it at midnight. But I have to wait till 1 a.m, which I can't do now because it's midnight. You can you can squeak by on a midnight, but yeah, it's no, it's not. It's not going to happen otherwise.
Right. I think we've been going a while today. I think we should put a bow on this one, mate.
Yes, I think we should. So, anything you want to say before we go? I bet you Chuck's got a video. That's why he's been lingering around.
He has Stonehenge. Yes.
So Chuck's got Stonehenge. I still need to contact him about how to do a Nando's properly. Who told you how to do a Nando's like that? That's not how you do a Nando's. First things first, you haven't finished at the gym. It's always after the gym. Everyone knows that.
Well-
You have the chicken after the gym. You need that protein. It's clearly drink. I had wine at Nando's. I could have told you it was going to be crap. He was so polite too. That was the bit that got me. It was the politeness. He was like, I'm in someone else's country. I'm going to be polite. I appreciate that, but dude. Anyway, no, it's goodbye from me.
See you next week, guys. Bye.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.